the headlines for informed analysis of major political stories in Nigeria. I am Olajumoke Olatunji. With less than 36 days to the conduct of the 2023 general election, courts continue to determine litigations trading conduct of party primaries to choose candidates for the post. The Court of Appeal sitting in Abuja has upheld the election of Akanimo Udofia as governorship candidate of the All Progressives Congress, APC, in Akwa Ibom State. Some supporters of the All Progressives Congress APC in Rivers State have sustained injuries after an alleged improvised explosive device exploded at the popular Goku Field, venue of a rally in Port Harcourt. And on our interview segment for today, we will be discussing politics in Kwara State with a spokesperson of the APC Campaign Council and Commissioner for Finance in the state, Florence Oyeyemi. Welcome to Politics Tonight. Stay with us, we'll be right back. Welcome back. The Court of Appeal sitting in Abuja has upheld the election of Akanimo Udofia as the governorship candidate Congress APC in Akwa Ibom State. The appeal court struck out the judgment of Justice Agatha Okeke of the Federal High Court, Uyo, on the 14th of November 2022, which nullified the nomination of Udofia as the governorship candidate. Justice Okeke had ordered the APC to conduct a fresh governorship primary within 2 weeks, but barred Udofia from participating in the new primary. But counsel to Udofia appealed the judgment, praying the appellate court to make a consequential order directing the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, to recognize Udofia as the authentic APC candidate. Senator Ita Enang, an aide to President Muhammadu Buhari, who was an aspirant in the party primary, had challenged the outcome of the primary election in court. The Social Democratic Party, SDP, in Kwara State has taken its campaigns to community Kwara North Senatorial District of the state. The party's campaign train was in Karaman local government in continuation of its efforts at mobilizing more support for the 2023 elections. Correspondent Ibrahim Alege has details.
Fancies its chances of clinching the Kwara North senatorial seat. This explains why its senatorial candidate, Abdul Qadir Manko, has been going from community to community to canvass for votes of the people.
And from each local government, we should assess all the communities that are accessible by road. If not accessible by road, we even join canoes to see the way our people are living. So that is what we've been doing across the 5 local governments.
Here in Kayama, the party says it is ready to fill the infrastructural gap in the zone.
Between 1999 to date, about approximately the sum of 9.6 billion naira has been allocated to Kwara North as zonal intervention project fund, and yet nothing to show of it. And that is why we are seeking for an alternative party, and the alternative party on ground is Social Democratic Party.
In order of priority, the SDP senatorial candidate Abdul Qadir Manko says its major focus will be on health, agriculture and road.
Health sector, secondly agriculture, and then thirdly the roads. The roads are in a terrible shape, and then we have the belief that once you face the farmers and then you are able to give them what they required, then the next thing you should do is to fix the roads. Now you came all the way from Ilorin, you can see the situation of the road. So majorly their problem is they don't have good roads, they don't have good water to drink, no electricity, the health sector, everything about Kwara North is bad, it's backward.
Majority of the people of Kwara North are farmers. The SDP senatorial hopeful says the zone can feed 30% of Nigerians, all things being equal.
The produce in Kayama Hotel, instead of them to be transported to our state capital, is being transported to Benin Republic. Then it will go around to Benin border in Lagos, then come into Nigeria again. It doesn't make any sense to us. And that's why I've been telling the government that fix those roads. Once you do it, I can bet you that what I have seen in Kwara North can fix about 30% of this nation.
Manko is planning to take over from the incumbent senator, who is also the candidate of the All Progressives Congress, Sadiq Umar. Ibrahim Alige, TVC News, Kayama, Kwara State.
Let's go to River State, where some supporters of the All Progressives Congress have sustained injuries after an alleged improvised explosive device exploded at the popular Igboku field, venue of a rally in Port Harcourt on Thursday. The injured victims, mostly women, were immediately evacuated from the scene of the incident. Some youths were said to have prevented the party from holding the rally at the field located at the popular Mile 1 area of Port Harcourt. When contacted, the public relations officer of the State Police Command, Grace Koko, said nothing like that happened. At this point, let's take a short break, and when we return, it will be time to speak with the spokesperson of the APC Campaign Council and Commissioner for Finance in Kwara State, Florence Oyeyemi, on politics in the North Central State. Stay with us. Welcome back. You're still watching Politics Tonight, digging beyond the headlines. And now to our interview with the guests of the day. I am joined by the spokesperson of the All Progressives Congress APC Campaign Council and Commissioner for Finance in Kwara State, Florence Oyeyemi. Thank you very much for joining us, madam.
Good evening. Nice to be here. Good evening.
Good evening to you. All right, let's begin with the famous Otoge mantra that ousted the Saraki dynasty from power in the state. The APC recorded massive victory in Kwara State in 2019 following the Otoge struggle. Do you think your party can repeat the 2019 feat in the coming elections?
Okay, yes. Starting from the Otoge mantra of the 2019 election, the Otoge mantra was born out of people being tired of the administration of PDP. And there was no infrastructural development, huge infrastructural deficits in the state. Workers' salaries were unpaid. We have some of our intervention funds diverted for personal gains. These were some of the reasons why the people said Otoge to the previous administration. And after Otoge was said, they voted massively for the present administration, that's the APC administration under the leadership of Malam Abdurrahman Abdurazak. Now that we have gone through Otoge and we've tried to put in place things that the previous government could not achieve, and the people are still saying, haven't seen how well we have worked and how well we have improved the lives of people in Kwara, the people are now saying Maashilo. So our present mantra for the 2023 general election is Maashilo. And this martial law is born out of the need and the yearnings of the people, have again to continue with the good works of the present administration of APC under the leadership of Malam Abdurrahman Abdurazak, which is why we're here. Just as we've achieved the feat excellently in 2019, we're certainly going to do better in the 2023 general elections.
Yes, but many analysts say the APC has become disunited as many politicians have moved out of the party. How possible will it be for the APC to repeat the feat with this?
Okay, yes, some people left the party. Some few numbers of people who do not even have the backings of the grassroots with them. So you see these people. Now, let us take a look at the recent concluded rally, the presidential rally that was held in Kwara State on the 17th of January. Despite the fact that there's a lot of allegations or speculations that people had left the party, it was not felt at all. We actually pulled a crowd that was way much more than what was pulled in 2019. This is a government of the people. It is not about some few. It is not about few individuals that are not happy about the progress of Kwara and Kwarans. This is about the people being happy with what the present administration is doing across every sector, and they are feeling the impact of government directly. And I haven't been feeling the impact of government directly We are really people-centered. Our administration is people-centered. The people are the core of our mandate, and we intend to serve the people. That is why Malam Abdurrahman Abdulrazak, the governor of Kwara State, is being known as a servant leader. He's here to serve the people, and that is what he's doing. And we're so concerned about the people, and that's our focus. Whoever leaves the party should be known not to be so concerned about the progress of Kwarans, but probably the progress of his personal interest, not the progress of Kwara. So if anybody is really concerned about the progress of Kwara and the progress of Kwarans, they will definitely stand with the leadership of Malam Abdurrahman Abdulrazak under the auspice of APC. So we are really not going to, whether some people left or not, we know we have the people, and the people are the ones calling for us to continue with the good works that we've started since 2019, and that is what we will do. We will continue, we will keep consolidating on infrastructural development, keep moving, keep opening new projects, new innovations, new ideas that would not only create job opportunities, that will also attract foreign direct investment, and that will also create jobs for every member of Kwara.
All right. Earlier, I know you said it is now a martial law, but we hear, how possible is it for the governor to get re-elected?
Okay, so that's very funny. So when people are saying Osuwa, those that are saying Osuwa, we've come to find out that they're just finding it very hard to comprehend on the achievements of Malam Abdurrahman Abdulrazak. This is something they could not achieve within all through their 16 years in power. They could not achieve any of the things that Malam Abdurrahman Abdulrazak, the Executive Governor of Kwara State, has achieved within 3.5 years. Now that they are seeing this, for their small-mindedness, it is very difficult for them to comprehend. And it's because they cannot comprehend, that is why they are chanting Osuwa. And because they're saying Osuwa, Osuwa is they could not actually fathom how able to provide roads across all the 16 local governments, will be able to construct classrooms, renovate classrooms, rehabilitate existing classrooms across the 193 wards in Kwara State, and he was able to pay the counterpart fund of 7.1 billion naira to also access another 7.1 billion naira from UBEC. Despite that, he's paying salaries of every worker in Kwara State. We came in, they could not even pay 100% salary. Since he came on board, he has been paying 100% salary steadily, and not just salary, an original minimum wage, 30,000 minimum wage salary. Do not forget that when we came in, it was supposed to be on 18,000. Unfortunately, the salary scale we met was far, far below 18,000. Malam Abdurrahman Abdulrazak, the Executive Governor of Kwara State, came on board, looked at this salary scale, took it to the original 18,000, moved it further to the original 30,000. And these people have been getting their salaries. So when you look at people chanting Osuwa, you would know that it is just for their own personal gains, not for the interest of Kwarans, not for the interest of the children that will still be born in Kwara. If you look at our activities and our investment in teachers' welfare, not only in salaries, we talk about equipping them with the right pedagogical skills. We have a Kwara Learn program that we're doing in the state that is equipping teachers with the right 21st century education techniques. When you look at all of these things, these people could not achieve it within 16 years. When you cannot achieve something as much as this within 16 years and someone was able to do it within 3.5 years, what would you expect them to do? They are just lost. They could not fathom how he can achieve this much. I was able to achieve this much, and he has not owed one month's salary, neither percentage. He has not done any of that. He's fulfilling his mandate to people day in, day out, and they cannot really comprehend. And because they cannot comprehend, that is why they're tired. And because they're tired, that would not stop us or deter us from our focus of investing in our people and making sure that the lives of our people get better than it was in 2019.
All right, so you're saying that the Osuwa mantra is coming from your political opponents?
Oh, certainly. The Osuwa mantra, I think, is just from a flux of numbers, really negligible and inconsequential, I would say.
All right. The governorship election in Kwara State is likened to a 5-horse race involving Yakub Gobe of YPP. We also have Hakim Lawal of SDP, Professor Shuaib Oba Abdurrahman of NNPP. We also have Shuaib Yama Abdullahi of PDP and the governor. How will you rate it?
Okay, so just as I said earlier, all of these people who had come out to contest were all APC. They all came out from APC. So it's more like it's APC that is still out on the market. And knowing fully well that these people left, they just left. They did not move with our people. They did not move with the people that are solely concerned about the development of the state. It is just them making noise all by themselves. So with time, they've seen it. They've seen the reality. They can relate with the realities. And not just them, even their families, even those from their homes can actually relate with the realities of the achievements of Malam Abdurrahman Abdurrazak, who accepted that Malam Abdurrazak has done this well and he is enabled to do it again. He has the capacity to do it again. They will eventually come back because they have no hold anywhere. They were just members of the party who left for their own selfish gains or selfish interests to go pursue something else. But if they're truly concerned about the needs and the development of Kwara, they wouldn't have left. But our doors are still wide open, and since they know and they've actually attested to the fact that His Excellency Malam Abdurrahman Abdurrazak is doing this business of governance the right way it should be done, in accountability, in sustainability of programs, they will definitely come back to their home. Our doors are wide open and we're ready to receive them for as long as they're concerned about the development and the progress of Kwara.
Okay, talking about coming back, the APC chairman, that's Sunday Fagbemi, and campaign DG Yahaya Seriki said efforts were ongoing to bring back former party chieftains who are now governorship candidates of SDP, YPP, and NNPP. How far has your party gone with this? Okay, so discussions are on, and as discussions are on, some are considering. We have some members of House of Assembly who have picked up tickets for some party who have actually decamped into the APC. They have come back into the APC, and we're all working together for the success of the 2023 general elections and also for the progress and development of Kwara. Now, that being said, it's a continuous work in progress. I can see even at their own hand, they are also consulting amongst themselves. They're trying to see if they could come up with one force, but that's not possible because their needs are different. Their expectations are different. But for as long as we know that they are concerned about the progress and the development of the state, the prosperity of the state, our doors are open to receive them, and we're ready to work with them towards the 2023 general election so that it will be successful, not just for them, but also for our people in Kwara State. Right. How will you describe the relationship between APC leaders in the states, like the Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, Senator Gbemisola Saraki, and others in the state? What is the relationship like?
Oh, for as long as they have not come out to say that they are not in relationship with the state, so we're fine. We're good with them. Yes, the minister. The Minister, Lai Mohammed, the Minister for Communication, he was with us at the presidential rally on the 17th of January, and we did everything together at the rally. Senator Gbemisola Saraki wasn't present in person, physically present, but he was duly represented at the rally. Since they had not come out to say that they are not with us, we believe they are still with us, and we're working towards the success of the 2023 general elections.
All right, then. Now, what would you say are the landmark achievements of the APC government in Kwara State that still endear it to the electorate?
Okay, so we have several landmark achievements, and just permit me to mention a few as I go through sector to sector. So I will start up from the human capital development. In human capital development, I always say It is not, it's more like an intangible investment. Intangible investment because we cannot count, well, we cannot count the numbers of people that have actually benefited from this human capital development and the commitment and the investment of His Excellency and this present administration in human capital development. So talking about human capital development, we'll talk about the education sector. From the education sector, you would see that we have done a complete overhaul of the system. We have actually brought in a new system and a new program in place, which is Kwara Learn, such that this program is to enable our teachers to impact positively and to impact at a certain level that is expected and that can be compared or that can be in tandem with international best standards. This Kwara Learn is the training of teachers across board, day in, day out, to ensure that they are equipped to the right 21st century skills. Then we also have construction of classrooms and rehabilitation of classrooms. If you can remember or check your archives, back in 2018 when we were doing the Otoge campaign, you would see some places that His Excellency Malam Abdurrahman Abdurrazak visited, some classrooms he visited at that time. When you look at, it's like a wide shift from what it was in 2018-2019. Malam Abdurrahman Abdurrazak has engaged in a complete makeover of the classrooms across all the wards in the state. That's the 193 wards. At least a classroom will either be rehabilitated or constructed. And now we have digital classrooms across all the 16 local governments in the state. A part of the landmark achievement we'll also have is the innovation hub that is almost completed, and we should be commissioning it very, very soon. This innovation hub is to bring about a workroom site for our bulging youth and our youths that have the right qualification, and also to build up the ARIN program. When you look at the ARIN program, His Excellency has been committing counterpart funding to the ARIN program every year. And this has engaged systems whereby nutrition in the state has really gone up, and you can see that our ratings are better than what it was in 2018. We move from there, we go into the Ministry of Works. When you look at the Ministry of Works, we've accessed the RAM fund and it's being utilized for the people of the state. We've also engaged in construction of roads across the 16 local government, opening of new roads. When we talk about the roads, you talk about Obosi-Ayegunle Road. The Obosi-Ayegunle Road is completed. And we will also talk about the Yebumot Road. We also have the flyover that is near completion, amongst several other roads that have been constructed during the 3.5 years of Malam Abdurrahman Abdurrazak. When we move from there, we move to the water sector. His Excellency has engaged in providing potable water for people in Kwara. When we came on board, no waterworks was working in the state. Right now, virtually all our waterworks have been completed. We have waterworks that have been renovated across all the 3 senatorial districts. And this waterworks is providing potable water to our people. Then we talk about the financial inclusion program of His Excellency. Under the canopy of the Kwara State Social Investment Program. The Social Investment Program has an aspect that is called Owarubo. We have that of Owoshowo. We have the Kwarapreneur. We have the Youthpreneur. We have the Public Work Fair. These are programs that are putting money directly in the pockets of the citizens, that are helping them to build their capacity into providing support for their family. Because, and we also have that which is a conditional fund transfer, because this way people, some of them would work and from there they get paid. People that are normally on the streets, scavenging for food, scavenging for money, begging, these people have been engaged properly to actually serve the state and be rewarded and be paid wages from what they do. This financial inclusion is an excellent program under the QASIP, and this program has been getting credit from people. So that is why our poverty rate has dropped, has dropped to a certain percentage from what it was before. So we have gotten better, we've gone up in our poverty rate. So we are better from where we were in 2019. So from QASIP, we go into laudable projects that is being done in Kwara State. We talk about the International Conference Center. We talk about the Visual Arts Center. We talk about the Industrial Park. We talk about the Processing Zone. We talk about the Film Factory. We also talk about the Garment Factory. All of these laudable projects are what His Excellency has embarked upon since it came into power in 2019. And this project will not only increase revenue for the state or increase the IGR for the state, but will also provide job opportunities for people in the state. Aside that, we also talk about we move from there, we talk about some of the programs that we have signed up for in the state. We talk about the CARES program. His Excellency, even before we got the advance payment from the federal government / World Bank, His Excellency had actually committed a lot of funds into the program to ensure that people access their social infrastructure that can be owned by themselves. So we have that of the Kwara Community Social Development Agency. Then we now go into our agri. Right now, we have an agricultural master plan that gives on what we need to achieve and at what time, and what are the impacts, what are the benefits for the people. And we've started deriving from the step-by-step implementation of the agricultural master plan. So when you look at this agricultural master plan, we link it to some of the interventions that we're getting from the federal government. Moving from there, we talk about our hospital, the healthcare service. We have a world-class ICU in Kwara State now. We have an oxygen plant. We have a lot. We have all our primary healthcare development, our primary health centers. We have a working system with our hospital management bureau, such that people can get drugs, and they can get drugs and other implements at a very easy rate and an affordable rate, just to make sure that we are serving the people. Many more are things that His Excellency has done across the state, and this is not just limited to just one local government or two local governments. These are things that are widely spread across all the 16 local governments, and the people are seeing this. They are feeling the impact. They are happy with it, and they're saying to us that we should just continue with the good work so that we can consolidate and ensure that we actually take Kwara far away from where we met it.
All right. I'm speaking with the spokesperson of the APC Campaign Council and Commissioner for Finance in Kwara State, Madam Florence Oyeyemi. At this point, we need to take a break, and when we come back, we'll continue with this conversation. Please stay with us.
Programs delivered directly to you. Watch anytime from anywhere on your mobile or smart devices. Download the TVC News app today. Available on Google Play and Apple Store.
Welcome back to Politics Tonight, and I still have with me the spokesperson of the APC Campaign Council and Commissioner for Finance in Kwara State, Florence Oyeyemi, for discussing politics in the North Central State. All right, in the build-up to the APC presidential campaign on Tuesday in Kwara State, the opposition PDP accused your government of rushing to complete some projects for the president to inaugurate. How will you react to this?
Okay, so one thing that the PDP government, they're just trying to put out a sensational news to attract people to them. I would say that since the time they came on board, since the time they came into power or came into the race to actually have a gubernatorial candidate, which I feel they shouldn't even have bothered about. They've just been trying to come up with sensational news around what we're doing and coming up with propaganda about why we're not doing it well when they have not been able to, when they were unable to achieve anything during their time. Now you now move forward to just wonder, what exactly is their aim? Their aim is simply just to distract the people, because there's no time, they have not told the people at one time what they intend to do for the people. What they're just saying is, oh, APC is doing this, and they are doing this, they have done this, they have not commissioned the project. His Excellency Malam Abdurrahman Abdulrazak is investing majorly, massively in infrastructural development that is not just for today, but it's something that will create a sustainable income for the people and will also open doors of other opportunities that we will never forget. Now, looking at all of these things, these are not things that you will just sit around and rush. Looking at it, when you come up with a project, before you invest in a project, you would have done your feasibility studies, you will do your bill of quantity, you do all the procurement process, you fulfill all the procurement process. And having fulfilled all the procurement process, when you look at this procurement process, you will know that this projects are time and they're time bound. But we'll also give allowances to some mishap or challenges or factors that will deter us from meeting up with the deadline. One of those factors will be like the COVID-19 pandemic, because throughout the period when we were on lockdown, no work was going. So all of these things were on standstill. Now, looking back at that, why would they just wake up one morning and the next thing they're going to say is, oh, they're trying to rush the project because the president is coming so that he can commission? The president will definitely come and commission the project in Kwara. So they don't need to be jittery. They're not supposed to be worried, because the president will definitely be in Kwara in no sooner days to come and commission all of this project. And they will be amazed to see how well this project will not only drive revenue for the state, but also open room for foreign direct investment, and in turn create job opportunities, not for only our children, not just for the people of Kwara, but their own people as well. So they should relax and they should stop with the propaganda.
All right. How would you describe the APC presidential campaign in Kwara State?
Well, the APC presidential campaign in Kwara State can be likened to that in Kano. And we're so happy that the people are not just calling us to continue the good works, but they are out there to support us to ensure that we'll achieve it from top to bottom, bottom to top. So you'll see that the people of Kwara are not only concerned about the emergence of His Excellency Malam Abdurrahman Abdulrazak for second term, but they are also concerned about the renewed hope agenda of the presidential candidate of APC and Shiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. So they are liking the two together, and they are willing and they're ready to support from top to bottom, bottom to top, to ensure that APC is Kwara, Kwara is APC, and come 2023 general elections, inshallah, His Excellency Malam Abdurrahman Abdulrazak will not only be backing for second term, but all of our House of Assembly seats, all of our National Assembly seats, and also our presidential seat will be won by APC.
Okay, President Buhari was billed to attend the campaign, but eventually did not. And I remember a few minutes ago you said you were very affirmative that he will come. So when will that be?
So because I'm not privy to the calendar of Mr. President, so I would not be able to tell you the exact date when he will be in Kwara State Commission project, but I'm very sure that he will soon be in Kwara, because he really wanted to be in Kwara for the presidential rally first, to commission all the laudable projects that His Excellency Malam Abdurrahman Abdulrazak has embarked upon since his emergence as the governor of Kwara State.
All right. So what would you say stands APC presidential candidate out among other contenders for the presidency?
Okay, so one major thing that I see that I would say stand the presidential candidate out is the fact that when people are saying follow person with Sabi Road, following person with Sabi Road, it is not by the word of mouth. It's by actual evidence and evidential representation of what has been achieved. When you look at Lagos State, for example, Lagos State can be likened to the entire federal government. They are every time when people need to make a recourse or make a comparison to Lagos State, they talk about the achievements of Bola Ahmed Tinubu during his time as the governor of Lagos State. When you look at this achievement in Lagos State, it is invariably normal, or it's also variably normal for you to believe that someone who has done it in a state that had no order, and it could put a major order in the state that is still standing test of time, that even till date, we could still see the footprints of Bola Ahmed Tinubu in Lagos State. It is just evidential that this is just who deserves to be Nigeria after the 2023 general election, because he has done it. We have the evidence, he has the experience, he has the capacity, and he is committed to the people of Nigeria. And he sees this as a yearning to move Nigeria forward. And since he sees this as his own commitment to move Nigeria forward, he's solely committed to it, and he has the right people around him, because the running of an administration is not just a game of one person. It's a game of a leader that can work with lots of more to achieve his mandate. And he has those people around him. And these people that he has is not going to leave them to, it's not going to run the show alone. It's going to run it with them to ensure that we have the Nigeria we all dream to have, and also to consolidate on the achievements of President Muhammadu Buhari. Those are some of the things that I feel that we should have Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu as the president of Nigeria from 2020, after 2023, or for 2023 general election.
Commissioner in Kwara State, how will you describe Tinubu's economic blueprint for Nigeria?
Okay, so having looked at his manifesto, his Renewed Hope manifesto, you would see that some of the things that he had enlisted as some of his economic footprints for Nigeria, as some of the things that he had seen, having been in the private world and having been in the private business world. He understands the modalities of economic backing. He understands the features behind, the parameters behind any economic backing. So most times we just say, oh, we want this, Nigeria is rich, Nigeria is poor, Nigeria is this, Nigeria is that. But there are so many things that need to be put in place. These are the backdrop of what Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu is looking at. And looking at the fact of Lagos State, during the time as the governor of Lagos State, he was not even accessing the federal allocation for a very long period during that reign, but he did his best and he committed his best. He came up with new policies, he came up with new designs, he came up with new programs, he came up with innovative ideas that will generate revenue for Lagos State, and they are still gaining from that till date. So he has it in him because he has done it before and he's ready to do. He's fully ready to also discharge what he has done before for the people of Nigeria. And because he has done it, the economic footprints are there, and he also has the right network of people that will help him achieve excellence in that which he has put in his front.
Now, let's talk about women in politics. Women participation in governance and politics is still a long call in Nigeria. What are those factors inhibiting this?
Okay, so for women in politics, I am excited because I am a commissioner in Kwara, and I'm the first female commissioner in Kwara. And we have a large number of women representation in political appointees in Kwara. And we also have a good number of women who are vying for the post of the House of Assembly in Kwara for the 2023 general elections. So in Kwara, these are some of the achievements of His Excellency Malam Abdurrahman Abdulrazak that I should have mentioned as first, because of his women empowerment program, because he has really empowered we women to actually be all that we want to be the best that we have to be in the political setting. And we're representing and doing our best to ensure that women are fully represented. For most times when people ask me about my challenges as a woman, I look at my challenges as me representing two demographics. One is me being a youth, I can still call myself that, and the second being a woman. And I have to prove to the people, to let them know that a woman can do this and do this well. A young person can do this and do this well. And these are some of the commitment that His Excellency Malam Abdurrahman Abdulrazak has brought into Kwara. Women empowerment, we need to have the right leaders that will see the effect and the capacity of women being in position, and the capacity of having women in position and seeing how they drive the system is something that it has to be a leader thing. And because the APC party recognizes the impact and the importance of women in politics and women in power, women in political sittings, it is important that we just allow APC to continue from top to bottom, because they've actually empowered women and they've put women in the right position. And also in Kwara, we have the gender composition bill. When you look at this gender composition bill, it has mandated any government coming in, even after we leave in 2027, inshallah, because we're coming back, that's for certain. After we leave, it has mandated, it has ensured that the government that will come in after us, they will also put into perspective the gender composition, the right gender representation in it. But when we now talk about, that's for political appointment, when we now talk about elective position, and as much as we call that, oh, we want women to be there, we want women to be fully represented, we want women, it takes a whole lot, it's a lot of work, and it's a sacrifice that women will have to make. Because the movement for elective position is different from political appointment. And that there is a need for you to actually be at the grassroots, for you to relate with people at the grassroots. And also, when you look at the time when we were even doing our own primaries, we ensured that we had a very good percentage of women being major decision makers in ensuring that the right candidate emerges for the party. And when you look at our financial inclusion program in Kwara State, you will see that in our own state, His Excellency is so concerned, is so particular about the women, and he has given us every enablement that would require us to actually stay afloat, to actually stay the best, and to actually represent the women folks as much as we want. So some of the empowerment program, apart from ensuring that women are in position, are the programs like the Warudo Oyeyemi. The Oyeyemi was targeted at women petty traders across the 16 local governments. So when you look at this is empowering women to actually make decisions for themselves, to actually stand for themselves, to actually represent themselves, to actually speak in the gathering and not be shut down. I'm a commissioner for finance, and thankfully I'm also the campaign spokesperson, the gubernatorial campaign spokesperson. Being in this position already attracts the attention that women need, because you can see that a woman is doing it and is doing it well. Then a woman can do it again. And for everybody watching us tonight and knowing that this is what is happening in Kwara State, let us also implement similar. Let us implement something similar in our state. This is something that the woman needs to be empowered. They need to be strategically placed in position whereby they can speak, for one, for their ward, they can speak for their local government before they start speaking for the state. I am in the cabinet and I'm representing a local government. And in my local government, I am a major elder, I'm a major stakeholder in my local government, and no decision is going to be made in that local government without them consulting me. I am a woman, and every woman can also do once they have the right enablement. So I can only I can only give a word of advice that other states, they should kindly emulate what His Excellency Malam Abdurrahman Abdulrazak has done in Kwara State in terms of women empowerment, so that women in politics will grow stronger than what it is today.
All right, great. But then, there are still a lot of factors. There is no doubt that women are still limited due to a lot of factors. So what then can be done to enable more participation, women participation in governance and politics?
Okay, so as I said, so in Kwara, we have a gender composition bill. In gender composition bill, this is to ensure that every political appointment have a very equal, a major percent, I think that's 5% women representation in every political appointment across the state. Now, for women being in politics, so we now go into the elective. we talk about the support that women need, and I think this party, APC, has done it well. During the primaries, when they were selling form for interested aspirants, you see that they slashed that of the women by 50%. This is something that was done by the APC. So this that was done by the APC to show you that APC is actually encouraging more women participation in politics. And also, when you look at it, it's actually a thing more of a commitment than what other people can do. There are some factors that will inhibit women. I know, I would say, because right now I have kids, and this is almost 9, and I am not home yet. I'm still in my office. Those are some of the sacrifices that come with the job, and you have to measure up. I'll use my own story as an example. During my time as a commissioner for finance, I got pregnant and I had a baby. And it did not deter me from fulfilling my role as the commissioner for finance in the state, because these are some of the things that women need to understand. Because when you want to be in power, in as much as we say we want more women in power, want more women in politics, we want them to take in elective position, the women should also understand that it comes with a level of sacrifice. And because the men are there, I don't always want things to be handed over to women on a platter of gold because we are women. Because when we're talking about gender equality, we would have to be equal in every sense of it. That means whatever a man is doing, we're also running it up. I don't want to be a woman and say, oh, because I'm a woman, it's happening in one local government, I cannot be there because I am a woman. You have to ensure that this is a sacrifice because you have to give it for you to take it. So it is important that women in politics understand that there are factors that will inhibit them. We have the social factors, such as the family. We have the finance, the capital factor, finances of running. They are processing up for different programs, one under the WIM base that is supporting women that are in politics to actually vie and give them capital support. We have there was one that there's women, also there's an elector program as well that was done. So if others across the state replicate or emulate what the APC is doing presently and what Kwara State is doing presently, Nigerian women will be able to fully participate because they know they will be duly recognized. But it is important for us to also know that it has to start from one point. I would tell every woman to first identify their ward. They should identify the ward they come from, because every election is local. And because every election, you have to start from the ward. From the ward, then you know your local government. You understand the modalities of the workings of every local government politically. Because this is a game. You have to understand the modalities. You have to understand the workings. You have to understand if something is being zoned. You have to understand if it's coming to decision in 2027. It is right for them to participate fully in campaign activities today, from now, so that they will start to be recognized. Pending the time positions are available, then you can call for it and it gets to you. So there are several factors that's the family factor, the capital factor, the social factor. But because I am not privy to that, that's not happening to me, because my governor is an he for she governor, and he has actually empowered women, has actually put us in position whereby we're representing every woman. So even all the women in Kwara are for us, because they know that if this can happen to a woman, to a young woman, it can also happen to my child. So it is important that all other governments across the country, they can emulate what APC is doing, what Kwara State is doing. Look at some of the gender composition bill. Ensure that we have more women representation and support them so that they can achieve what they plan to achieve.
All right, fantastic. All right, in a few seconds, what are your parting shots to the people of Kwara State?
Okay, so my passing notice to people of Kwara State is first to appreciate them for their support to our administration, to the administration under the leadership of Malam Abdurrahman Abdurrazak, and for calling us to continue the good work. And we're ready to deliver more and to give them more than what we had done them during our first 4 years. Also, we are also committed to ensure that the lives of every child of Kwara is better. We are also committed to running a sustainable, progressive Kwara. We're committed to that.
All right.
And also, we also want to tell them, as much as they've actually spoken to us, they've told us that we should continue with the good work. It is important that they have their PVC, because the PVC is their power, is their right. And nobody should get their PVC from them, because their PVC is their power, is their ticket to the future that we want tomorrow. And with their PVC, they should vote for APC, top to bottom, bottom to top.
All right, then. I must say it has been interesting, wonderful time having you on the show today. Florence Oyeyemi is the spokesperson of the All Progressives Congress APC Campaign Council and Commissioner for Finance in Kwara State. Thank you very much for coming on Politics Tonight.
Thank you so much for having me.
Well done. And thank you for watching. That marks the end of today's episode of Politics Tonight. But the conversation continues from here. Get in touch with us on Twitter at TVC News NG and at Olajumoke using the hashtag Politics Tonight. We are also on YouTube at youtube.com/TVC News Nigeria. Join us for the repeat episode at midnight and tomorrow for another edition of Politics Tonight. Digging beyond the headlines. I am Olajumoke Olatunji. Goodbye.
Miss a moment. Instant breaking news from all over the globe. Live streaming of your favorite programs delivered directly to you. Watch anytime from anywhere on your mobile or smart devices. Download the TVC News app today. Available on Google Play and Apple Store.
It's always a great morning on the TVC Breakfast Show.
Thanks for joining us on TVC Breakfast.
With the array of stories that matter and what's behind them.
As you say, the first blow indicates the direction of government.
Tell us what really is going on between your union and the federal government.
Once it's generated,
if you don't use it, it's waste. We are not even sure whether we have a strategy for security.
Are you saying that there was nothing wrong in that?
Was he the one driving the taxi?
Answer the question.
Reveal your morning with all you need to know.
Like the
Yes, just mundane lyrics.
Yes.
How does that fit into your scheme of events?